On July 4th, 2025, the big beautiful bill passed. And don't let the name fool you, because it's going to be a transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. These changes include Medicaid cuts, SNAP cuts, changes to taxes that really just make the rich richer. You know what? They got rid of taxes for tips and overtime pay, right? Right? At least that, right? Basically, you're only exempt from the bonus pay. So let's say you're paid time and a half for overtime. You're not going to be taxed on that half of that time and a half. Yes, tips will be tax exempt for up to $25,000 in a year, but that leads to a savings about $1,600. I don't know what that difference is going to make when you're paying out of pocket for your health insurance. And a third of the tipped work is actually already tax exempt. So, cool. Also, both of these things expire in 2028. They also had nearly $1 trillion in cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, as well as to CHIP, making eligibility stricter, making work requirements stricter. You have to work at least 20 hours a week. Also, due to the Medicaid cuts, $50.4 billion reduction in federal Medicaid spending on rural hospitals over the next 10 years. So over the next 10 years, expect to see some hospitals close down and rural areas be without emergency health care. There's so many cuts that it's going to affect so many outlets that really I just can't even get it all in one video that's going to be short enough to post. But I would just go look it up. I would go do your research on how it's going to affect you in every single way, because it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And that's not all. We're cutting SNAP nutrition programs by $186 billion. And on this chart, you can quite clearly see who's benefiting the most with these tax changes. And let's not forget about the child tax credit increase. Let's talk about that. But hey, we did raise the child tax credit from $2,000 to $2,200. Not that $200 really makes that much of a difference. However, low-income families won't see very much of that, if any at all, because it's income-based. And the current policy we have in place that makes at least the eligibility for that wider sunsets this year. So now we should talk about why we've made all these cuts and somehow we still have increased the deficit by $3 trillion. We have placed funding into the Pentagon, into ICE, to Trump's wall that is a joke, and into Trump's idea to pursue a Golden Dome missile defense system. Yes. Also for tax breaks for the rich. We're literally paying all of our money for rich people to thrive and us to suffer. We need to stand up. We need to do something, because this is really fucked. I know a lot of what I've been saying is really grim and depressing, but these are the circumstances we live in, and it is up to us to make the change. But for a happy note, here's my cute cat.